Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm introducing and comparing 5 high D whistles that are each tunable and under $80. Some of them well under $80. You know, you normally have to pay $100 and more to get a tunable high D whistle, and so these are brilliant. And each of these provides a warmer or cleaner tone as opposed to a trad tone. I will introduce a Tony Dixon trad in a week or so, but these are leaning into warmer and cleaner. And we've had a number of folks ask me if I'd find whistles like this and introduce them. And I am so happy to say that there are 5 at least that fit the bill. So I've got 2 Tony Dixons, 2 Susato Kelischek whistles, and 1 Goldfinch whistle. And you may know others as well. I would love for you in the comments to this video, please comment and say, oh, I have one of those whistles you introduced and I love it and this is why. Or I don't have one of those, but I have this other whistle that has a warmer, cleaner tone and it's tunable and this is why. Our friends want this feedback because our friends are shopping and they have a specific need in mind, and one of these whistles is likely going to fit your need. I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to play a scale on each, a tune on each, and I'll talk just a little about some of their qualities. But I want you to hear them kind of side by side. So I'll say the name of the whistle, and I'll put it here on the screen, and I'll put links in the notes to this video to where you can pick up each of these. And what I'll do is I'll say the name of the whistle, how much money it is, where you could pick, the name of the whistle, how much money it is, and then I'll just play the scale so that you get them close together. Tony Dixon DX004. Tony Dixon DX005. Tony Dixon DX004 was $25. Tony Dixon's DX005 is $45. The Susato Oriole, and this is $45. Turned away a little because, as you could tell, that's a louder whistle. Now, the Susato Kelischek, I think this used to be called the Kildare, maybe? Just call it the Susato Kelischek. That's how it's available today. This is the S Series, not the V Series, the S Series. The Susato Kelischek S Series is $68.40. Now, the Goldfinch High D, this is $75. Okay, talk about volume and playability of each very briefly before I play some tunes. So this is the Tony Dixon DX004, the least expensive of the 5 at $25. It plays very freely, like maybe I didn't say. It's more like an easy blower. There's no real back pressure for you to have to build up, and the volume is fairly moderate, not soft. Leaning a little loud maybe. If you try and increase the volume in the lower octave, it's probably going to break on you. In the lower 3 notes, like the D, E, and F sharp. But above that, you're okay pushing it. It's a beautiful whistle. This is an absolute bargain for the money. I'll hold. I should hold those comments. The Tony Dixon DX005 at $45. Also plays very freely and easily. I would consider it also an easy blower. It may have a slightly more mellow tone and might be a few decibels quieter than the 004. But you still can lean into it, and the characteristics for playability are about the same as the 004. It's a slight design difference primarily. The Susato Oriole, $45. You know, well, trying to hold my opinions out of this because it's up to you. The both Susato models, but the Oriole, these are louder. I describe them more as session whistles. You can increase the volume some in the lowest few notes, but it does want to break. And that's hard for any whistle to give you a range of volume in the bottom 2 or 3 notes. But you can really, this one will really stand out above the crowd. So, yes, you could get behind this one. The challenge is, it may not be as easy to play quietly. It's going to take you a while to learn to play this a little more quiet because it is more of a session style whistle. It plays well. I'm not as much a fan. The tone's just a smidge rougher on this Susato than the Susato Kelischek S Series, not the V Series. Big difference. So the S Series is 6840, a much cleaner tone than the Oriole, and it's delightful. But again, it's more of a session whistle. So you can increase the volume even in some of the lower notes, but it is going to want to break soon. But both the Susatos are going to require you to learn to play the top half of the second octave, which is amazing for a whistle under $100, under $80. It's almost impossible. Now you say, Scott, isn't that a bad thing? No, it means that this whistle can be played more expressively up in that second octave than you can with some of the others. This brings more to the table, which is why if you follow Frank Medrano Irish Music Frank Medrano Irish Music is his YouTube channel. I'll put a link to Frank. This is the high D, and he plays the high C version a lot as well. This is the whistle he uses. And so if you want to get a sense of what this whistle could do, watch Frank playing it. So again, this one will require you to learn the breath pressure, and you're not going to play this one very quietly. It's a little too loud almost for my study, to be honest. I'm turning away from the mic again. Great clean tones. The Oriole by Susato is a little rougher on the edges. Okay, the most expensive is the Goldfinch. I love the work that the folks at Goldfinch do. This is from an easy blower to a back pressure. This is kind of in between the Tony Dixons and the Susatos. Oh, sorry, I was pushing it like I would push the Susato, and that's too much. So it's a lovely whistle. One thing you need to be aware of, if you want a Goldfinch whistle, you want a Goldfinch whistle. So again, also tunable. What you'll do is you order it from the folks at Goldfinch. You're then put in line for the good folks there to make your whistle. So it could take you a couple of months to get your whistle. The Goldfinch is $75. It's the most expensive of the lot. Now, what I want to do is play If I Was a Blackbird on each. First, Tony Dixon DX004, If I Was a Blackbird. Just once through. Tony Dixon DX005. Susato Oriole. You probably don't need a microphone with either of the Susatos. The Susato Kelischek, the S Series. The Goldfinch. All right, I enjoy playing each of these whistles, and I've chosen the scale and If I Was a Blackbird as slower tunes to help you hear that tone quality. And I played through each of them a number of times on some faster tunes, and they're each very responsive and sound great there as well. So I kind of was leaning to playing a faster tune, but I realized I'm not sure it's going to help you make a decision because they're just such great whistles in and of themselves. Okay. So if my decision criteria was I wanted a loud session-like whistle and money was not a huge issue, then I would go for the Susato Kelischek S Series at, well, $68.40. Amazing whistle. The Oriole, I know it's cheaper, but it's only $23 cheaper. And the Kelischek S Series is, I feel like it brings more to the table. So, for me, it's a bit of a, now, if you're just in love with the tone of the Goldfinch and you can wait, $75. I love this whistle as well. If you want something that is very budget friendly, then either the Tony Dixon DX004 or the Tony Dixon DX005. The DX004 is $25 and the 005 is $45. So 5 very solid options for you that I think are great. If you have questions about any of these, please ask. I think they'll be great. If you're playing in public and you're not going to be mic'd, then you might want to invest in the Kelischek Susato S Series high D tunable. But it has a learning curve with it. It takes longer to learn this one. When I first started playing it, a few days ago, I was just squeaking in the second octave until I realized I had to really lean into it, like a much more expensive. This brings almost some of the qualities of whistles that are 4 times as much money. If you want like a phenomenal high D whistle and you want to pay at least a third to a quarter of what some of the really expensive whistles are, and you want that experience for a good while, then the Kelischek would be it. But then you've got that volume to deal with. If you want an easy blower, the Goldfinch, the Tony Dixon 005 with the metal tuning slide, or the 004, all stellar options. I don't think you'll be unhappy with any of them. Now, I'm not meaning to diss the Oriole. I just don't think it stands out as a solid option above the others for you, because it plays a lot like the Kelischek S Series, but with a little more of an edgy tone. And so, our friends are asking more for a warmer, cleaner whistle. And so these are great. You will not be unhappy with any of these. If you own one of these, I would love for you to comment in the comments to this video. Please chime in. Our friends want your help. I want your help. I love each of these. I have been playing these a lot over the last few days, and I have loved each of them. I was hoping to record this outside so I could really lean in to the Susatos, and it's everybody's air conditioner's on and the fans are on and it's windy and noisy, so you would have missed some of that. So if you're playing inside, bear in mind the Susatos probably going to be too loud for you. If you're playing in a group or in a session and you don't have a microphone, then they're jump to the top of your list. If you're playing with a group and you're all blending together and you're near a mic, then why not get one of the Dixons? Unless you just want that quality, or get Dixon or the Goldfinch. So anyway, ask me questions, please. If you're brand new and just checking us out, I'd love for you to subscribe. We're primarily looking at learning low D whistles, but a lot of our friends ask about high Ds, and I have fun with the high Ds too. I think they're wonderful. And so it was important for us to do this today, take this time and introduce these to you. And so ask questions, share comments, subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope this is helpful. Like the video. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends.